have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. All out of bubblegum.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Oh boy, we've got a show to you today, for you. Wow. Train wreck, game over, debacle. There are many words that are being described for what happened last night at the presidential debate. Donald Trump, former president, versus President Joe Biden. Of course, I have with me my superstar co-host, Doc Cheatham. Doc, say hi to the people.
Hello, and God bless everyone.
I got a text message from Doc, and it said something about Houston. Houston, we're in trouble. Houston, I think we have a problem.
And you know what? I gotta apologize to a lot of our good listeners and you in particular, because I wasn't thinking about how long ago that happened. It was during the Apollo, and they said, folks, we hate to tell you this, but we have an emergency, and the emergency was that the Apollo had some problems.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I look at it, I said that was in 1970. Half the people that I emailed probably wasn't even born in 1970.
Well, I happen to be around then.
Yeah, it was April the 13th, 1970. And
Apollo 11?
Apollo, NASA had a emergency. They said, Houston, we've had a problem. They had problems with the Apollo. And that's what I thought of last night when I looked at, I don't know what you call that debate or what that was last night. But I tried to tell folks, Democratic Party, you got an emergency on your hands.
Yeah, what you have there is a situation. You got a serious situation. I'm going to go ahead and just get it started up. But first, I have to be remiss not to. The Baltimore Orioles are in the lead in the American League East. Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
So
I watch it every day. I ain't missed a game yet.
So we're in American League East. The Orioles are in the lead. We just are a smidge above the Yankees. I would definitely be remiss if I do not bring that up. We were on a losing streak, 5 games, and it was right during my birthday week. This past week was my birthday week, this week, Monday, June 24th. I'd like to thank everyone for all the birthday wishes and happy birthdays. I got a ton of them. So I'd like to thank all my friends, family, fans of the show. And I just noticed, wait a minute, we keep losing. What is going on? And I don't know, they got it in gear against that last game against the Guardians and took that 4-2 Orioles and put a whooping on the Rangers. Woo doggy.
I did send out on Facebook some concerns that I have, and I did get some, I guess, a little less than 100 replies, and some folks probably didn't know what I was talking about, but it's dealing with, I think, some improvements where the Orioles need to make some improvements, and the first and foremost is they got to learn how, when there's a ball that is hit out into the outfield and you have to throw the ball back in, you have to hit
the cutoff
man that you throwing to.
Hit your cutoff man.
And you know, I saw it 3 times this week alone. They keep missing the cutoff man.
That's very
You can't miss the cutoff man if you expect to get the person out at third base or home plate.
That's it. That's very important.
Okay, so that's one thing that I saw, and it has happened every game this week. I've seen it happen. They missed the cutoff man. The second thing is, you know, we got to understand that hitting home runs are good, but this last month, we've left a lot of people on base. And you're leaving people on base because you're more interested in trying to hit a home run than you are to move the runner over. Well, I'm suggesting that we got to do better in moving the runners over. Yes, we got some hell of a home run hitters. We got quite a few. We got 5 folks that might make the All-Star team. Mm-hmm. But you can't hit a home run every time. Sometimes you need to move the runners over. And you do that by hitting behind them. And you do this that I don't know nobody in the Orioles that may have done it this year. Don't y'all know about how to bunt?
Well, they tried a few times.
Somebody never told us how to bunt.
I saw it against the Guardians. They tried a couple of times, very unsuccessfully. And you're supposed to advance the runner. Ever heard of a sac fly? That does help out. Sacrifice fly. Just saying. I know the chicks dig home runs, and the guys out there, they're young guys and they want to show off. But got to play a little bit smarter. But so far, so good. They just have to play a little bit smarter. I agree with you, Doc. But
I think without a doubt, I think we got the best team, and I don't mind predicting. I think that boy from New York is going to beat the home run record again this year.
Oh, Aaron Judge. Well, enough of Aaron Judge. Okay. But let's get into it. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, I called it over a year ago. I called it actually before the Outsider show even started. I told people, I've been in politics, I've been involved in campaigns, I'm a bright cookie, I know my stuff. I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but I do. Now I called it. I said Biden's going to self-destruct. He's walking around like Frankenstein, trying to, I guess, tap dance and jog everywhere, falling off bikes, falling down, walking up steps, having all types of memory lapses, staring into the lights, running after paratroopers in Italy. I mean, good Lord. I mean, so he is a mess. He's a mess. And I knew, and I saw it coming. So I was sitting there waiting. I'm going to go ahead and play. And this is what happened, everyone. So I'm going to go ahead, cue that up so the folks can hear. Okay, here we go.
Those. A 10% tariff on anyone who comes into the United States of America. What I did, well, for example, he wants to get away with the ability of Medicare to, for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400 in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Joe! How you beat Medicare?
Over. We finally beat Medicare? What was that?
Dear Lord Jesus, this ain't happening, man. This can't be happening, man. This ain't happening. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? That's the real pretty shit now, man. That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now?
That's what the Democrats are screaming last night. They're still screaming it. Game over, man. Game over. Game over, man. That was a train wreck, a cluster F combination. Worst thing in a debate I've ever seen. He shuffles up there to that podium. It started off from the jump, from the beginning. I'm sitting there with my wife, and when he started talking, I said, it's over. As soon as he started talking, I said, it's over. Watch this. This is going to be a train wreck. And I was right. I was right, because the man has dementia, onset dementia. I said that years ago. Everyone can clearly see it. And why everyone is acting like they're so surprised gets me. That they're, I'm so surprised. I wasn't surprised at all. I'm surprised it didn't happen the last debate. But it took a few years coming, and Joe showed who he really is. Doc, what? Honestly, Doc, with what you saw last night, do you think Joe Biden can win the presidency of the United States?
No, I don't think his health is going to enable him to continue on. I think yesterday his handlers did him a great disservice. And they knew before he went in that he was having a problem with a cold or whatever ailment he had. They should have requested another date. But to allow your candidate to go in, and you knew that something health-wise was not correct. But I would honestly say this. This is what I know about elections. There has been no past president that has had a failing percentage running as a candidate that has won the presidency of the United States. None. Since they started doing statistics, no president that went in, and I think this one, Biden was in the 40s. He did not have a positive record going in. I don't believe that any president has won and had a failing record going in for re-election. So that's the first thing. I think also at the same time, I don't mind telling folks, I think the governor from Michigan and the governor from Maryland, I think they need to team up, and I think they need to be a team to run for president and vice president.
Excuse me? Governor, which state? I heard Michigan. What was the other state?
The governor from Michigan, her name happens to be Gretchen Whitmer.
Oh boy.
And the governor from Maryland happens to be Wes Moore. I'm suggesting
Doc, really?
that the next Democratic convention, they need to switch candidates.
Doc, Wes Moore?
Yes.
First of all,
I'm going to call it like I said. You want the black vote, you would get a black candidate.
Okay. Wes lied about being from Baltimore, and I'm born and raised in Baltimore. I took offense to that. A lot of Baltimoreans took offense to that, to be on Oprah Winfrey and tell that bald-faced lie. And Wes went through...
We ain't talking about lies, but you're going to talk about Trump, are you?
No, hey.
We have to do 2 more shows.
We can do 2 more shows, but I want to point this out.
Come on.
Okay. He did that. He's a military guy. My father was an Army Ranger. That honesty, integrity, that's your military person, that's what you're supposed to be about. He went through $5+ billion that was a surplus and ran through it in a matter of months. These aren't, these aren't good things. Now, Wes is going to be receiving something. He's going to be receiving something from me, as well as some other dignitaries. There's a situation that's ongoing with the discrimination and harassment, bullying that's taking place in the state of Maryland, in the judiciary of all places. Oh, ye hypocrites. And let's see what he does with that. I mean, but right now I have serious reservations. As far as Biden is concerned, it's over. Game over. That's going to be my moniker for that debate. Game, set, and match. People are freaking out, and I want to play this because this is what's going on, and this is what happened as far as those opinions. Of course, we have ours. Doc Cheatham and Sean Sims are very opinionated, and we're bright guys. We don't agree all the time. We agree most of the time. I say Doc and I agree the vast majority of times. But yeah, but let me go ahead and play this because this is what people are saying about this debate that just happened.
So I've changed the law. What's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there's 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move.
Stop. That's a bald-faced lie. For you to say that there's 40% reduction of people coming across the border during Biden's administration, I'll call a spade a spade. That's a bald-faced lie. Now, let me continue.
Oh, you talking about that barrier that the past president put up?
No, Biden said that the amount of border crossings dropped 40%.
I'm going to counter everything you say against them. What our past president did not do. Where's that big barrier he's going to put up to stop the folks from coming in to America?
The amount of people coming in has jumped through the roof since Biden. The numbers say that. Let's go.
We get the total ban on the total.
I could hardly understand what he was saying too, because I'm going, what is he saying? I don't understand what you're saying. I wanted to.
Most of us could I blame
oh my goodness!
I blame CNN for allowing that to continue. We couldn't hear all of it.
Yeah, it was hard to hear. So, folks, it's not me. Don't you dare blame the outsiders for this audio. This is Joe Biden's voice. Let me continue.
Relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence.
No, I didn't hear. Trump said, I don't even know what he said at the end of the sentence. I didn't know what he was saying for most of the sentence.
It was a game-changing debate in the sense that right now, as we speak, there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. It started minutes into the debate, and it continues right now. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention, and there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that. But that was not what we needed from Joe Biden, and it's personally painful.
In my view, it is over for Joe Biden. His presidential campaign came to an end tonight, whether he knows it or not. There will be meetings tonight, first thing tomorrow, amidst Democratic Party leaders about how to get him off the ticket.
Your president shuffled out before the world and looked with that glassy, muddled, confused, strange affectation, the whispered, breathy, confused affect, flat affect, the staring off, a huge brain fart during one of the courses of this. Huge. President Trump was a gentleman. He could have gone in for the kill. He could have been absolutely brutal.
Ones. And from a Democratic point of view, this was an unmitigated disaster. In terms of televised debates, this is the worst performance by a candidate, either Republican or Democrat, in history.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Game over. Yeah, that's what I'm calling. The performance, that was the worst performance I've ever seen, period, in a debate, presidential debate. Doc, how do you think in ranking, because I know you've seen several presidential debates over the years.
I go back as far as Kennedy. That's how far I go back. And
okay.
I would say this, and folks, I want you to get educated on this. This is the 6th president of the United States that was in serious health conditions running for re-election. I'm going to give you these names. Look it up. Theodore Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Woodrow Wilson, Dwight Eisenhower, and Ronald Reagan. All of them were seriously ill the last time that they were running. Check it out. We just happen to have so much information now that it gets exposed the minute it happens. I don't mind telling you. I put on Facebook, we need to have some new candidates for president and vice president for the United States coming from the Democratic Party. We also need to do the same thing to take that line former president out. I'm talking about Trump. He lied 5 times that I know of last night. Neither one deserves our vote. Neither one.
Well, I'll say this much. When it got to the questions with the moderators in regards to black folks, the black vote,
There's a black vote. That's what I still want to figure out.
well, I guess that would be you and me and anybody who's black.
No, that's what Trump said. Trump brought up the black vote. I'm trying to say, what the hell is a black vote?
Well, I listened to what was said.
Not vote. He said black jobs. What is a black job?
I guess any job that a black person has. If you're a black person, you have a job. It's a black job. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
That's what Trump said last night.
No.
That the Hispanics were taking away the black jobs.
Well, I mean, he should have phrased it better. Taking away jobs from black folks, yes. And they're very upset with it, especially what's going on in New York, the Bronx. Wow. But Biden said something, and that I thought it was odd. He said, you black individuals. I go, what? Did he just say that? I mean, is it me, or did that sound a little off? I told my wife, because she's from New York. She's from Brooklyn. And I told her what he said, and she goes, he said, black individuals? I said, what is wrong with him? I said, it was a lot wrong last night. So I believe, this is my opinion, that Biden lost black votes, and his coldness in regards to these young ladies who have been murdered by these illegal immigrants who were criminals, with this wide open border that people just pouring in, and he didn't have any remorse, for the families, and I really feel for them. He didn't say anything like that. I thought that was devastatingly wrong.
I think we are afraid to face reality. If there were a vote that we could cast in this upcoming election, and it was none of the above, that's how I would vote. I can't vote for either one of those candidates, Trump or Biden, neither one.
What about Kennedy?
Neither one deserves our vote.
What about Kennedy?
Why are we saying everything short of that? Neither one deserves our vote. Both parties need to come up with different candidates.
Doc, what about Kennedy Jr., Robert Kennedy Jr.?
Hell no. He don't know whether he a Democrat or Republican.
He wasn't allowed on the stage.
Well, he's not the only one that wasn't allowed. There was a black guy that filed to be president of the United States. His name hasn't even brought up.
I believe that everyone should be allowed. I don't like this. Hey, you don't have this, that, or the other. I don't like that.
Because some white boy was not allowed to come on, when there was a black boy that was not allowed.
He should have been allowed.
Filed as president.
I believe everyone should be allowed on a daggone stage to talk. That's me. That's what I don't believe. That's anti-democratic, anti-republic, because the United States is a republic, folks. It's not a democracy. It's a republic. And I'm just against that. I just think it was brutal. What's going on with the situation with the wars? Oh my goodness, the wars. And that was talked about. I want to go ahead and play this. I want to play a clip. I played Biden. People heard Biden talk. I played some of him. I want to play some of what Trump was saying as well, equal opportunity. So let me get into the situation, what's going on with Ukraine and so on. And we're going to get into that a little bit more, because this is a geopolitical situation that's affecting the United States. And Trump did mention it. He's like, we could have World War III because of what's going on. And I agree. The outsiders actually have been covering the situation that's been going on. So let me go ahead and cue this up. What's going on with the Ukraine?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. He encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals like I fired the one that you mentioned. They had no money for anything, no money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president.
Well, let me finish. Okay, that's enough, Trump. Look,
Really? Did not Trump say he was going to sell it before he became president? How the hell was he going to do that?
This is my concern. The money. All that money, billions and billions and billions and tens of hundreds of billions of dollars, we give to this guy wearing this little green outfit, Zelensky, my boss. Give him all of this money. We could have been using that money for our veterans. We could have been using that money to help the homeless. We could have been using that money here in our country. And we've given it to Ukraine?
I agree with you 100%, but it's paid with a broad brush. The same thing goes with Israel. Why in the hell are we giving all that money to two totally different countries that have not done a thing for us, and our people are suffering here? What about poverty? What about poor in the United States? We're sending money, millions and millions, if not billions of dollars, in two different wars.
Yes.
And our folks are suffering here in the United States.
Yeah, but the war started under weak Biden. They saw him get out of Afghanistan and said, look at this. And I called that. I said, watch what happens. I told my friends, I told my family members, I said, look, this is what's going to happen. I told them, there are going to be wars. The way they left Afghanistan, the way Biden went out with his tail stuck between his legs, and the way he took the military out and then left the people last, okay, the way he went out of Afghanistan, the leaders of the world, they looked at that and they said, look at this dummy. Is this how he treats his people? He doesn't care about his people. He ran out like that, like a coward. I knew that was going to happen. I said, there are going to be wars. People are going to see that he's weak. He's weak, feckless. State Department's weak. And they will take advantage of that. And listen to, and I'm telling you folks just right here now on The Outsiders, watch out for China and Taiwan, Jack. Watch out for that. And the Ukraine and what's going on with there, because we got some more information on that as well, because we're international. And what's going on is a travesty. There have been about 600,000 Ukrainians dead. The bodies are piling up because this guy allowed this crap to happen with all these stinking wars. Hate Trump or love Trump. I got my issues with Trump. I got my issues with Biden. I have my issues with all kinds of politicians. So let me get that straight right off the bat. But when you do things that cause hundreds of thousands of lives to be lost, maybe possibly millions, and with the actions that have been taking place, no, I got a real serious problem with you being the leader because you're weak. And that performance last night, it just exposed. Well, I already knew, and a lot of people already knew. I don't know how people couldn't see it over the last 3.5 years. And they knew it. And it was exposed last night. Now they're talking about, Dr. Gear, they might be bringing in Gavin Newsom, the California governor, to replace Biden. What about Kamala Harris? I guess the black woman, just push her aside. Push the black woman aside. Don't half Indian, half black, whatever. Push the woman of color aside. You know what? Don't give her a chance. Just bring in a white guy. What do you think about that situation with them possibly bringing in Gavin Newsom?
I don't know of anyone that has publicly said that has any power. That's why I recommended two names myself. I think the president should not be going again. Talking about Biden. I don't think Kamala Harris has shown herself worthy to be the next president. So that's why I am suggesting Whitmer and more. I think the Democratic Party needs to look at new leadership. I think the current president is too ill to repeat. I don't think he can probably finish out this term, leave alone 4 more years, no way at all. But I'm painting with a broad brush. I don't like either one of these folks, either one of them.
Well, we got a situation it is a situation. It's a serious situation, and I'm going to continue it because people need to understand what's going on, because I don't think people really get the gravity of the situation. Those who listen to The Outsiders, those who see the program, listen to our program, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spotify, so on, their knowledge base is a lot higher just from listening to this show. And people need to know this as well. And again, Trump touched on it. Joe Biden, I guess, tried to defend himself with his foreign policy. But here's what's going on, folks. So strap on.
It's Enforcer Matt, and welcome back to another Short War video. And today we're receiving very disturbing news coming out of North Korea that the North Korean government is officially committed to sending troops to Ukraine to help Russia fight their war. And obviously that is very bad news. And we're also hearing as well that Russia's now agreed to supply North Korea with nuclear weapons technology in exchange for that help. So right now, Western security officials are in a bit of a panic to figure out how to deal with the situation, because it has gotten a bit out of hand in the recent hours here. And we're also hearing as well of a major train crash inside of Russia with a lot of casualties, and we have all the news on that. And we're also hearing that Israel is still amassing troops on the Lebanese border to potentially invade the country in the coming days.
Well, let me stop there. I'm going to continue. Do you hear all this going on? Putin met with Kim Jong-un, and they cut a deal. He cut a deal with North Korea. North Korea was isolated, has been isolated, sanctions put against it. Russia had sanctions, thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of all these sanctions. Didn't do any good. Russia's a part of the BRICS nations, and they have tons of support. And now Putin has hooked up with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, and they have a pact. There's a military pact as well, and there's weapons pact. That means North Korea is going to be sending soldiers, troops, over to fight in Ukraine, and Putin's giving all types of missiles, I heard all types he's going to be giving. He's going to give goodies to North Korea because he figures, you know what, since the United States, since their foreign policy is to keep poking the bear, dumb, and keep coming in my backyard and keep messing with me, I'm going to give assets to the enemies of the United States. How's that? How's that, Joe? How's that working for you, Joe Biden? So now you got North Korea that are going to be armed with hypersonic nuclear missiles. They cannot be shot down, folks. And they'll be able to hit the states. So good move. Great foreign policy. Terrific. Let me continue.
And bring more countries tell their citizens to leave Lebanon immediately due to the uprising.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Lebanon. Now it looks like Israel may be going to war with Lebanon. 1982, they stopped World War III. It was going to happen in 1982. I have the evidence. Even spoke with a Russian soldier who was in the Russian military who told me. Okay, so that was going to happen. Now you got Israel looking to go into Lebanon to fight Hezbollah, which is a lot more heavily armed and a lot more dangerous than Hamas.
Tensions of the day. We're hearing that Pyongyang, which is North Korea, says it will send troops to Ukraine within a month. And it says that the June 19th Defense Pact signed between Russia and North Korea included a promise to provide military assistance to one another. Within days, Pyongyang has now said it's sending troops to Ukraine. So it really can't be understated how significant this actually is. This is essentially North Korea joining the war against Ukraine and also the West and joining Russia's side. This
free update. This is going to be a quick one. Here's what I know. Okay, so diplomatic relations between Russia and the United States have reached an impasse. Just today, Sergei Ryabkov, Russia's deputy foreign minister, stated that they're getting ready to scale back diplomatic missions inside Western countries. What does that mean? Well, on any other day, that would just be standard fare, run up the escalation ladder that we've become accustomed to over the last 2 years. However, this has now happened just 24 hours after Lloyd Austin had an emergency phone call with his Russian counterpart, the new Minister of Defense there, Andrei Belousov.
When that munition goes off, it's, pop, 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 pop. These going off and they create shrapnel.
And again, there is no justifiable military reason in the world to target people who are out on a beach trying to swim in the Black Sea.
Sevastopol, that's in Russia. Folks, they were on the beach, just relaxing. Nice day on the beach, and they get bombed. By what? American munitions. Okay? American satellites are used in order to send those munitions over into Russia. And these people on the beach, about 150 people got injured from the shrapnel. Several people died, including children. That's what just happened. And you people are sitting around thinking, oh, gee whiz, we're in the United States. We can just do whatever we want. We just run around. We can police the whole world. We got billions and billions and trillions and billions and quadrillions of money, and we can just give out and we can just do whatever we want and just tell people whatever. That is a fantasy land. People, you are living in a fantasy land. The U.S. military has a soldier count that is at the level of 1940. Prior to getting into World War II. Did you know that? Did you know we're strapped? Did you know that? Did you know Biden getting up there and bragging and acting like the United States is such hot stuff and we can just do it? We're not. We're so. That is a lie. That is not what's going on. And Putin knows it. And there's a lot of trouble. So we were involved with bombing a beach in Russia. I don't want to be on any beaches in the near future in the United States. I'm just going to say that. I don't think I don't want to be any. I'll be poolside somewhere. But to be at a beach in a situation like that, I know a lot just went out there, Doc. What do you think about the situation with the U.S. and all these other countries and wars and the bombing of a beach in Russia?
I'm not supportive of America being anywhere until such time that we take care of our own.
Yes.
I think every country that we're going to that we should not be in, how do you justify that? And we're doing so badly here in America. I don't want to hear about Russia. I don't want to hear about Israel. I don't want to hear about any of them until we start looking out after ourselves. You know, where's the Voting Rights Act? Where's the Crime Act? You know, the things that we should be doing here for our people. I've seen 8 years of nothing from two different parties, two different presidents, and they haven't done a damn thing for the people. Poverty has increased.
Yeah.
We're worse off now. You got people walking in the street. If they don't get free food right now, they probably won't be eating. It doesn't make sense. The richest country in the world, we're helping everybody else but ourselves.
$200 billion to Ukraine. $200 billion, and the other countries as well, but the big one is Ukraine.
You have the numbers for Israel. Let's not just talk about Ukraine. Let's talk about Israel as well.
Well, it's not just Israel. It's the whole world we're giving money to.
Yeah.
It's the whole world. We got military bases all over the country, and that costs money for those military bases. They ain't free. So you're talking about funds that are going out all over the world. It just happens that lately, that's why I'm focused on Ukraine, because lately the biggest outpour of money has been to the Ukraine, $200 billion. That's the biggest outlay, even though you've got outlays that are going on all over the world as well. So this needs to be straightened out, and this needs to be straightened out quick. Something needs to be done.
I agree.
Because,
I totally agree.
because it won't really matter if you got nukes flying, okay? That'll straighten that out. It won't matter. And if you talk about a financial crash, if you talk about an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, we'll be back in the 1800s. So this is a serious situation that's going on. And the outsiders, we're going to continue to keep our eye on things and let our folks know, hey, look, don't be walking around thinking you're the cock of the roost with your chest stuck out that the U.S. military can just do anything and we can just beat anybody and we the biggest, baddest. No, that's not the case anymore. That's not the case. Sorry. And another situation, again, having to do with this debate, if you want to call it that. And I don't know what's going on lately, but the civil rights era of the 1950s, 60s, that spirit, what those folks were doing to get civil rights to be able to live and work and do and be equal on an equal level playing field was unprecedented what was done. But for whatever reason lately, and in the state of Maryland, because I'm going to focus with us, what's going on with the civil rights of people being violated, it's a disgrace. It's disgusting what's been going on. And it's not going to be it's not going to be under a bush hidden while people get away with the dirty. And that includes the overseer black folks who are involved in it, who have fancy positions because they work somewhere and they got a little title, and they just completely give the shiv, stab in the back, other black folks because they're making more money and they have a title. Those are the worst. And that's what's going on. And Doc, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I'm in total agreement there. We have a civil rights commission in Baltimore City that does literally nothing. Nothing at all. Press no charges, but they're represented in different commissions that have been appointed by our mayor. But when we talk about civil rights and the violations that are taking place on a day-to-day basis all over Baltimore City, we have a civil rights commission that literally does nothing. Nothing.
It's a joke. And they get paid. So you got folks who, they get pushed up the ladder. They get paid. They get more money, get a better position. And sadly enough, they're black folks who are doing other black folks the dirty and getting paid blood money, sellout money. And I guess they're proud of themselves and they know who they are. And it's gonna be exposed. It's coming out who these people are and what's going on specifically with the state of Maryland, the judiciary of all places. So it's not going to be hidden and you're doing people the dirty because we had that protest, Doc. Remember the protest we had down at the Circuit Court for Baltimore City?
Yes, sir.
People are still talking about it. It's still getting hits on YouTube.
Well, one of the challenges we had there, and I'm hoping black folks are listening, it's now time for you to stand up for yourselves. You got to stop being afraid to stand up. Lord knows where we would be if y'all were back in the days when people were really having civil rights violations. You folks would be missing in action. And I'm saying many of you black folks in Baltimore City are missing in action to even fight for yourselves so you get your civil rights.
They don't care. I guess I don't know if it's Stockholm Syndrome, but these folks, I mean, it's like they don't want to fight for themselves. They're scared, and and people keep telling me, but Sean, that's their job, and they don't want to, it's their jobs, and they're scared, it's their job, they're scared. Do you think the people in the 50s and 60s were scared when they having dogs sicked on them? Fire hoses? People coming to their houses doing all kinds of crazy stuff? You think they were scared? You think they chumped down? You think they wimped out because it got tough? And you just let people trounce over your civil rights, and then you just step and fetch it? And the ones who not only step and fetch it, but they join the melee. They join the melee so they can brown nose and move their way up and get a little title and get some more money and just throw their fellow black folks under the bus. It's a disgrace. It's disgusting. And then you have these young ladies who are doing it, black young ladies doing it. The worst backstabbers. They're the worst. And I'm saying it from experience. And I see these young ladies, and I look at their little bios, and they're on LinkedIn, and I graduated from this black university and did this, that, and the other. And then they're the ones who are stabbing black folks in the back because they got a new title and got moved up and brown-nosed their way up. Yeah, I'm talking about you, young black ladies who are in the government, who are in government agencies. I'm talking about you, who's selling out your black sisters and stabbing them in the back. I'm talking about you. And it's a disgrace. It's disgusting. And I'm talking about you, black men, committing sexual harassment, bullying, intimidation. I'm talking about you. You got your little title and moved up, and now you bullying people. And they're letting you get away with it. Elected officials let you get away with it. That's what's going on in Baltimore City. And Kwasi and Fume, you need to get off your ass, because this is taking place in your district, under your nose, and you know all about it, because I've been carbon copying you for 4 years, Jack. And you've done nothing. Nothing. Except when there's a check getting ready to get handed out, then I see you. That's where you are, you pop up. Yeah, I'm talking about your buddy, Doc. He's done nothing. And he knows what's been going on. And that's what really pisses me off. Holding yourself out there.
I have to concur with you with the elected officials that we have and the predominance of African Americans. You really have done us a great injustice. That there are so many things that should be done in our community that have not been done. I can't walk in any direction and not see where there has been neglect. Last week I was informed that we got some brand new swimming pools coming in Baltimore City, but here it is in the black community in the Saratoga Street area. They haven't had a swimming pool there for 4 years. I can't get the councilman to even return my calls to find out what do we need to do to help you get that swimming pool back open. It's been closed for 4 years. The population there, African American, is about 85-90% that's in that area. And why are we opening up new pools and you haven't reopened up the ones that you've closed? It doesn't make sense that we are having all of these challenges and things that we are when the highest ranking officials we have in Baltimore of African American descent, and we're suffering like this. It shows our leadership, and we just elected, at least elected for the next election in general, that we be selecting some folks to represent us. I'd be damned if I want to vote for any of them.
Yes.
Any of them.
Sellouts.
Yeah.
They're
nothing for us.
They're a bunch of sellouts. And I know the mayor doesn't like black people. I dare him, because I know about your cousin and the text messages, Ace. I know about your cousin and the text messages, Brandon. What you really think of black people. I dare you to open your mouth and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about and I just made that up. I dare you. There, maybe I'll get her to expose them. I dare you. I know what you really think about black people, and you put this knucklehead in here. He don't care for you black folks, and he certainly don't care for poor black folks. He certainly does not care for poor black people. And you got this guy in all intents purposes, looks like he's going to be mayor again. I don't know how long it's going to last. I got little birdies. I'll just leave it at that. But you got this guy in who's going to be mayor, and he don't care for black folks, especially poor black folks. Doc, have you seen him do anything for poor black folks in the communities?
Well, I live in a community that has a high percentage of folks that are financially challenged. I haven't seen the mayor, the president of the city council.
Nope.
I'm talking about you, Mosby, the comptroller. I've not seen you.
Nope. Nope.
Kwasi and Fume, we haven't seen you.
Nope.
And I have all these damn Angela also broke signs in my neighborhood. We have 7 big posters. We ain't never seen the woman.
You haven't seen her.
Angela also broke. You folks that are so enthused about her candidacy, well, she got 7 big posters up from the primary, not the upcoming election, from the primary election past. We haven't seen the woman. Why are those posters still up? I don't see any of those posters in any white neighborhoods. Why is Angela's
wow.
Signs up, the big ones, up in our neighborhood? We can't even get her to come. And we've invited her 3 times already. She hasn't appeared.
Because you're a bunch of black folks, and I'm telling you, you got these niggers, I said it, you got these niggers who do not care about black folks. And they just as dark as they can be, kinky hair, okay? They're black, and they do not care about you, especially if you're in the poor communities. They shuck and jive and smile and grin and jump in the harbor. Yeah, Brandon, keep jumping in the harbor. The filth begets filth. keep jumping in the harbor. And they smile and grin and talk about, hey, we're going to do this for you, and I'm going to be there. Angela Alsabrook, what has she done for black folks? Besides put a lot of black guys in prison, what has she done? So, I'm just saying, I'm just not going to vote for somebody because they're black, because the biggest traitors I've ever run across in my life were people of my own skin. They had the longest knives, and they stuck them, and they will stick them in your back the quickest. So I'm not going to vote for you because you're black, or because you're a man, or because you're a woman. You got to show that you're going to help the people. You got to show that you're a straight shooter, that you're going to help the people, that you're going to do right for the people, and you're going to make sure that the communities are better, safe, not protect criminals, not protect the criminals, but these are the type of people that I vote for, that follow the Constitution, that follow the ordinances and laws when it comes to running the city, like picking up the trash and the refuse and the recycle, and people like that. And why are folks here the most corrupt, one of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt city? Baltimore is corrupt to the bone marrow. Most corrupt city I've ever seen. Then you got the mayor. I'm on a rant and I'm on a roll. Then you got the mayor who, he's in charge of the budget, or he controls the budget. They've got 5 people. And so he picks 2 out of the 5 and he's on the committee. Most corrupt thing I've ever seen.
And the real concern that I have in the area of the mayor, how dare you sit there and support changing the administrative arm of the city of Baltimore to bring us down to 3 people on the Board of Estimates, and now that you become mayor, you've done a 180 in the other direction.
Yep.
How dare, it's what
corrupt.
You told the community a lie.
Because that's what he is. That's what he does.
You know, I don't know how else to put it. You know, when you're running for office, another position, you're saying one thing, and now that you're in the position, you're saying just the opposite.
Good.
Why should we trust you?
No, why would anybody trust him with that BG&E deal? That should have done it for you. I mean, empty vessel. There you go. That's what you're looking at, and that's what the city of Baltimore has to deal with. Now Doctor, you have something else you have to say?
Where is the health emergency?
Oh my goodness.
6,000 people died dealing with an overdose of drugs, and we yet to really have an opportunity to address it. You know what is the real agenda of you elected officials? You know, are you just getting your paycheck every day?
Yep.
Or are you trying to serve the people that you got elected to represent?
Not serving any people. They're serving their own interests. They don't serve any people. Brandon doesn't serve people. He serves his own interests. He's completely self-centered. He's not serving anyone. They serve their paycheck, their offshore bank accounts. Oops, did I say that? Oopsie, ooh-wee. Okay, whatever money funneling that's going on, they serve their God, the almighty dollar, which is what they worship. That's who they serve. They could give a rip.
There is an opioid rally on Tuesday at 10 o'clock in front of City Hall. We're suggesting folks, you need to show your face in the place. Since the city council and the mayor, the congressmen, the U.S. senators aren't addressing the opioid deficit, 6,000 at least in Baltimore, 10 o'clock on Tuesday in front of City Hall, 100 Holiday Street. Many of us are going to speak out about it. Where is the Baltimore City Health Department on this issue? Where's Nfume?
Yeah, where is he? I'm telling you, unless there's a check being cut, you're not going to see him. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, that's what we have. We have the most corrupt, worst-run city, the violent city in the country. That's what the Baltimore is. It's a third world. It's a banana republic city. It's a third world city run by third world people. It's a banana republic. It's corrupt to the bone. Okay, and I'm talking to all of you. There's a few here and there There's a few here and there that really want to do the right thing, but they get tainted as well because they're in that cesspool. Ugh, ugh. But I digress. Now I want to touch on this, and this has to do with CNN and the situation with the black media. I'm just going to go ahead and cut to it. Cut 5.
So this morning, my phone started ringing from black folks in black media saying they were denied credentials by CNN for tomorrow's presidential debate. I was like, what the hell is that about? So I posted a tweet, tagged the head of corporate PR for CNN, saying, hey, I don't know how y'all just freezing out black-owned media. Black American media from 2024 president debate in Atlanta, but approved credentials for reporters from other countries. Mark Thompson. And so she goes, hi, Roland, thank you for the note. We're welcoming more than 800 journalists from around the world to Atlanta this week to cover the CNN presidential debate. Information about how to apply for media credentials was made available to the public on May 15th in the announcement and confirmation of a debate. Unfortunately, due to size and security constraints, we are unable to accommodate additional credential requests following our June 7th application deadline, which was also communicated. They've been, sent to me there. Now, the Congressional Black Caucus Political Action Committee, well, they weighed in, and this is the statement that they dropped. This came from Congressman Gregory Meeks. It said, today on behalf of the Congressional Black Caucus, CBC PAC Chairman Representative Gregory Meeks released the following statement admonishing CNN for excluding black-owned media from covering the CNN presidential debate and calling on CNN to act immediately to credential a minimum of 10 black-owned media outlets. This afternoon, we learned that CNN has credentialed 800 members of the media for the first presidential debate of the election cycle. Not one represents a black-owned media outlet.
After events, I might fly up to D.C. and hang out with you, Roland, but it's one of those issues where the same progressive media that love to call Trump racist and love to talk about what Republicans are doing often do the exact same thing. They just do it from a different perspective. They think that their white liberalness covers them from also doing things that are by their very nature racist. They think that their white liberalness covers them from also doing things that are by their very nature racist. They have to understand that if you want to truly speak to the needs of black communities, you have to have black people in the room to tell you what those needs are. And through their own haughtiness, through their own condescending nature, this is why we see the ratings what they are from many of these major news networks, particularly CNN, because they do not know how to talk to the very groups that they want to support them.
What do you think of that, Doc?
I think that hopefully that maybe some of the media folks around the country will look into this a little bit further, because I think there's more to be learned from this. I really do.
I got a lot more to say. That was quick. That's a disgrace. See, when you say, hey, I'm a progressive, I don't give a rip. So, oh yeah, we're all accepting. We're Democrats, we accept everybody. Really, you do? That's not what I heard. Some of the biggest racists on the planet have a D next to their name. They're Democrats. And they hide themselves in this progressive thing. Oh, we're progressive and we're liberal and all this. Bravo, Sierra. So what? Your actions speak. CNN is supposed to be the flag bearer for the progressives and the liberals, have peeped their whole card. They've shown people, they've shown black America. Roland Martin, I'm giving him credit, kudos. We don't agree all the time, but I'm giving him kudos on this one. Yeah, the black community should know that CNN left out the black media for the presidential debate and wrote some cock and bull letter talking about, hey, you didn't get in time, all this nonsense. They might as well just have KKK hoodies. I mean, this is what you get. So you black folks think, oh, the Democrats are for us. I've been telling people, it doesn't matter if you have a D or R next to your name. Someone who's a racist someone who's against you because of color of your skin, your background, whatever, that doesn't mean that they are not a racist. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ignorant.
Same page.
It doesn't mean that, and it's the other way around. The flip side. Just because somebody has an R next to their name doesn't mean they are a racist. That's ridiculous way of thinking. People are people. Now, the Democrats have an advantage in using their system to keep black folks down, and the advantage is they come to us saying, we're your friend, like they did with the Indians. Like what happened with the Indians. Oh no, we're your friend. We're trading off and we're your friends. And then they turned on them. So don't believe the hype. That's why so many black folks are getting off the plantation, the Democratic plantation. Right now the numbers are hovering in the mid-20, 25, 26% of black folks are going to be voting for Trump. Right now I think that number's in that area. The last election, 2020, it was around 8. It's just like I said. Black people are finding out, black folks, and this is not just about race, this is local news, international news. We talk about the real deal. And we're straight shooters, we call it like it is. And this is what CNN did. So maybe the initials for CNN, maybe they need to change that. Because it's not a black news network, that's for sure. Maybe black folks will start boycotting CNN. The ratings are already in the tank as it is. But that's what I think, Doc. I thought you were going to say more about that.
Well, I sometimes have to admit that I haven't done as much of my homework in this area that I should. So I try to listen and learn, and some of the stuff that you give is educational for me because, there's no way that either of us can follow all of the issues.
That's hard.
So in this particular area, I'm still doing my homework on it, but I'm very displeased, and to show you that I paint with a broad brush. I sent an announcement out to MSNBC and CNN and asked them, why y'all putting so much makeup on black folks that y'all have on y'all program? I said CNN
really?
And MSNBC. Why y'all making us look fake? Let us look like we are. We the original people. We the people of color. You ain't got to put a whole bunch of color on us.
So what are they trying to make us look like clowns or something? Or people on CNN like clown makeup?
Folks, listen. I'm saying this very clearly. Look at MSNBC and CNN.
I'm going to now.
The next couple of days,
I'm going to do that.
Have a chance and ask, why are we making up these people to look different than they are?
Yeah.
People of color don't need a whole lot of makeup. They already got color.
I'm gonna take a look at that. And then you had CNN and you have black
eyeshadow, new eyebrows, new eyelashes. I said, golly gee, our people don't need all that color. Yeah, you might need a little touch up here and there, but don't sit there and make us look different than what we really are. We're proud to be black people.
Well, I know that they have, black anchors on CNN. They had them last night, but they wouldn't let the black media cover it. But they had black anchors. Can you say the hypocrisy of it all? I guess they figured, they got a couple of black faces here. That'll satisfy them. But you need the black media in these events. You're keeping them out? That is outrageous. And I guess Roland Martin, who used to work with CNN, he brought the story out, but he wasn't as fiery as he should have been about it. He was kind of calm, where he shouldn't have been so calm, and because Roland can get fiery about subject matter when he wants to. He can get on his high horse and get on his soapbox, and Roland, he can just roll and he can go. And for this, he's kind of like calm. I'm like, Roland, that's a huge deal. Why? But that's just me. I just noticed that little thing. I thought he would have brought some more smoke to that story since it's horrific what happened. But I guess we're gonna finish out. Doc, is there anything else that you have to say? Because we covered this debate. We covered the situation.
I would just ask folks to be be careful during the summer break. Watch over your kids a little bit better than you presently are doing. And try to get active, whether or not it's in the church, the community that you're in, but do something more. You know, sweep up your front. You know, don't let your dog poop and don't pick up the poop. You know, be more humane. Be more of a community person. You know, be a part of the community that you live in, because most of us, we don't know that we even have a community association until we need the help. And Lord knows y'all find us then. And I'm just saying, folks, let's come together as a community, as a neighborhood, as a predominantly African American community. Let's come together and find things that we can go along with, rather than always being in opposition to each other.
I agree, Doc. And for those folks out there who are doing the dirty, why don't you get on your knees and why don't you pray to ask God to forgive you for what you've been doing to your own community and your own people. Pray for forgiveness. Ask Jesus to come into your heart and save you, because you need the saving badly. For what you're doing to your own people, it's a disgrace. And the community, those out there, I agree with Doc. Do something. Help your fellow man. Make your community better. Join an organization that's going to be positive. Join a local church that's a gospel preaching, teaching church. Be more Christ-centered. Just try to be a better person in that, so that we as a citizenry, and we as not just the city and the county and the state, but we can come together and have a better community. And I agree with you, Doc, wholeheartedly. Doc, thanks for another great show.
God bless you, man. Always good to be on with you.
Okay, Doc, take care.
All right.
And I'd like to thank everyone for another episode. God bless.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers?